Hello, welcome to the presentation. I am Raisha Kabir Chaudhary and I will be presenting you a presentation on foundation computing. Let me introduce you to what foundation computing is about. Our lives today are completely dependent on computers and we must be familiar with computers in every aspect of our lives. Therefore, we must have a basic understanding of the CPU's functions along with its lingo. It is common for most of us to be aware of the type of network system we are part of or how it impacts our lives. In this presentation, we are going to discuss and get to know the basic of computer. Our topics name are identifying internal components of a central processing unit, CPU, explain the function of a CPU, explain how computer hardware components work together, identify different types of storage media, and explain the use of each with reference. The next topic is 3.1, explain how data is represented in computer systems. 3.2, explain how encryption can be used to represent data. Explain how images and sounds are represented in computer systems. 3.4, explain how compression can aid the storage of data, images, or sounds. 3.5, describe the purpose of logic gates. In 4.1, we have described the purpose of different types of computer network. 4.2, we have described the hardware, software, and transmission media used in computer network. 4.3, we have identified a range of worldwide web technologies. In 4.4, we have described the purpose of different types of computer network topology. Our first topic is 2.1. Identify internal components of a central processing unit, which is also known as a CPU. The internal of CPU are control unit, arithmetic logic unit, also known as ALU. The ALU unit consists of two subsections, arithmetic section, logic section. Next we have memory unit, register, and cache. Our next topic is 2.2. Explain the function of a CPU. There are mainly four functions of a CPU. Number 1, fetch. In fetch, each instruction is identified by a unique address and stored in memory. Number 2, decode. The assembly code converted to binary instructions that CPU can understand is referred to as decoding. Execute. The process by which a computer reads and acts on the instruction of a computer program is known as execution. Number 4. Store. After processing an instruction, the CPU must provide feedback and the output data is written to memory. This is how a function of a CPU is. Next, we have 2.3. Explain how computer hardware components work together. Every hardware component of the computer system is connected to the motherboard with cables. The components can get power and communicate with one another due to the motherboard's electrical circuit. The CPU and primary memory are generally housed on a motherboard. We can add graphics cards, sound cards, memory, and other peripherals through cards or connections. Next, we have identify different types of storage media and explain the use of each with references to the purpose. The purpose of storing data is known as storage. Storage media examples include hard disk drive, also known as HDD. In computers, hard disk drives are typically employed as the primary storage media, storing the operating system, software programs, and other data. USB flash drive. USB flash drives are frequently used to store, backup, and transfer computer contents. Optical disc. Optical discs are flat circular objects that are external storage systems for storing data and information. Different types of storage media examples. Next we have 3.1. Explain how data is represented in computers. Data may be represented in three ways by a computer system: numerically, using special characters, using sounds, or using graphics. Each type of data must be converted into a machine-readable format first. Number 1. Binary. Binary refers to a numerical system in which each digit has just two potential values, 0 and 1. Next is ASCII. ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Interchange of Information. In this 7-bit encoding method, each bit represents one character. Unicode is the next one. A standardized format for converting letters, numbers, symbols to numeric values that may be utilized in a variety of applications and systems. Our next topic is explain how encryption can be used to represent data. Encryption is the process of encoding, scrambling, or jumbling data so that unauthorized users cannot read it. A cache chipper is one method of encrypting text, although it is very easy to decrypt. However, there are newer forms of encryption that are more secure, such as symmetric key encryption, public key encryption. Our next topic is 3.3. Describe how images and sounds are represented in computer system. Electrical signals are turned on and off within a computer to transmit data. Therefore, converting text, images, and sounds into binary format is necessary before any computer can process the data. Our next topic is explain how compression can aid the storage of data, images, or sounds. A compressed file is smaller and lighter to make it easy for it to be transported over the internet or to external drives. This method can reduce the amount of space a file consumes. Our next topic is describe the purpose of logic gates. There are mainly 3 logic gates, and these are AND gate. An AND gate is a type of electrical circuit that combines 2 signals and turns on the output if both are present. OR gate. An OR gate is a digital logic gate that outputs 1 if any of its inputs are 1 and 0 if none of them are 1. NOT gate. If the input signal is low, this logic circuit produces a high voltage output signal and vice versa. This is a truth table for logic gate. The next topic we're going to start is describe the purpose of different types of computer network. Computers communicate with each other through a network, as a network allows them to share resources, information, and data. Below are 2 examples of network applications. Local area network, also known as LAN, are a collection of computers connected in a limited area, such as a building or a workplace. LAN is divided into 2 parts, based in the network's control structure and service delivery. Those are client-server network, number 2, peer-to-peer network. Well, computer network that span a vast geographical area, such as several states or countries, are known as wide area networks, also known as WAN. Our next topic is describe the hardware, software, and transmission media used in computer network. Networking hardware. Network gear is necessary for computers to interact with one another. Networking software. To make the computer network more adaptable to the ever-changing nature of the network, software is separated from hardware with software-defined networking, SDN. Transmission media. A transmission media is a path via which data may be transmitted from sender to receiver. Our next topic is identify a range of World Wide Web technologies, an internet service that provides public web pages that can be accessed via the World Wide Web, also called the web or WWW. HTML. In HTML, text or images can be rendered and viewed in a browser. It is a programming language that makes it possible to create web pages for viewing in a browser. HTTP. HTML-based computer documents are communicated through Hypertext Transfer Protocol (HTTP), which also has a secure version called HTTPS. URL. A Uniform Resource Locator (URL) is a sort of uniform resource identifier that indicates the location of a web resource inside a computer network. Our next topic is describe the purpose of different types of computer network topology, which is also our last topic. Network topologies. So a network topology is basically referred to how the components of a communication networks are organized. Topology are divided into 6 categories, and those are bus topology, ring topology, tree topology, star topology, mesh topology, and hybrid topology. The followings in our right side are the examples of the topologies. I thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you like it.